For this on-the-clock mock draft scenario, I used the premium feature to explore a possible Redskins mock draft scenario where they move up for a quarterback. While it's not the greatest QB class this year in the draft, there are a couple guys who have franchise potential. The Redskins unfortunately don't have many options for fixing their QB situation as they are tight on cap space as they still have to pay for Alex Smith's contract. So if they are serious about upgrading the position this year, it really needs to occur in the first round. As always, you can follow along with the mock draft here, https://fanspeak.com/ontheclock/sharedraft.php?? D=emplon trades traded 15th, 46th, 96th and a 2023 road pick for the 5th selection, with the Buccaneers traded 76th for 91st, 130th, and 242nd with the Chargers 5 QB Dwayne Haskins, Ohio State. While there are definitely scenarios where a QB falls to the Redskins, if Washington wants to fix the position they probably will need to move up to do so. Haskins is the top QB in the class, putting up just silly numbers this past season, completing 70% of his passes for 4,831 yards and 50 TDs. Haskins has good size and a big arm that can really threaten vertically. He does a nice job in the pocket and processes defenses pretty well. For his age and level of experience, he's pretty advanced. The downside is Haskins has just 1 year of starting experience and he needs to refine a lot of his game. The flashes and potential are there, but he's not yet a finished product. For the Redskins though, he should have no problem taking over the starting role and should develop into a true franchise QB. There will likely be some development issues early in his career, but that is typical for most young QBs. 91, edge DeAndre Walker. Georgia Walker was a quality reserve for Georgia, before finally get the chance to be a starter this past year. He's an undersized speed player off the edge who had 7.5 sacks this past year, led the Bulldogs. Walker has the speed and bend you are looking for in an edge rusher, and is a high-motor guy. While he's probably not an every-down player as a rookie, he pairs well with Ryan Anderson to handle the position if Preston Smith leaves in free agency. Walker still needs to develop some, but there is some real potential to be a 10-sack pass rusher down the line. 130, W.R. Stanley Morgan Jr., Nebraska. Morgan is one of the second-tier receivers who in a week or a year would probably be third-round picks, but will probably get pushed into the early day 3 range in this draft. He was highly productive at Nebraska, and has a pretty high floor to be at least a quality backup option. There is some starting potential there, and as a rookie, he could push for starting time both in the slot and outside. Morgan doesn't have a huge ceiling, but he can be a productive receiver at the next level and help the Redskins as a rookie. 153, G. Ryan Bates, Penn State. Bates was primarily a tackle for Penn State these past 3 seasons, but he does have some experience at guard as well, which is his projected position at the next level. Bates could have the versatility to back up RT, but he's got some starting potential, not as a rookie, for an interior position going forward. He's a much better pass blocker than run blocker at this point, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. He's got pretty decent feet, but probably needs to add some strength to anchor versus big interior defensive tackles. 173, W.R. Keelan Doss, California. Davis. I wasn't necessarily going to go with a second receiver, but I am a big fan of Doss' potential and thought this was good value. Doss has good size and speed, and has really good ball skills. He is able to use his size and leaping ability to give his quarterbacks a wide target area. He needs to refine some of his route running and footwork some, but there is top 3 WR potential for him down the line. 206, CB Iman Marshall, USC. Marshall was a 4-year starter for USC and was productive throughout his career. Oddly, he didn't have any interceptions the last 2 seasons, but he still remained solid in coverage and had a number of pass deflections. He's a bigger corner and might even be a candidate to move to safety. He looks like a late day 3 player who can contribute on special teams and be a solid backup. 227. LB Bobby Okereke. Stanford Okereke is an interesting prospect, because he's an off-the-ball linebacker who projects better versus the pass than versus the run. He's got good height and great range and does a real nice job in coverage. He's also shown himself to be a solid blitzer as well. Okereke doesn't have a lot of power, and he's had some trouble finishing tackles. Primarily this shows up against the run, but it can be an issue as he tries to tackle bigger TEs as well. Overall, he should offer special teams value and be a solid backup with some potential to develop into a nickel LB. 242. C. Javon Patterson. Mississippi. Patterson played both guard and center in college and was worked at both positions Senior Bowl week as well. Most projections feel he is a better center at the next level, but he has the ability to back up all 3 interior offensive line positions. I don't see real starting potential here, but he should be able to be an adequate backup, whose versatility is a plus. With the Redskins needing to fill so many of their depth offensive line spots, this could be a nice option to help round out the position group. 253. Tay Tommy Sweeney. Boston College. Sweeney projects as a potential inline Tay as a second or third Tay on a team. He's got good size and is a nice blocker, who catches the ball fairly well. He is limited though, as he's not the most athletically gifted, which will probably prevent him from being a true number 1 Tay. With Vernon Davis on the way out and Jordan Reed maybe the following year, the Redskins need to find some depth at the position, and Sweeney is a solid option for the late rounds. Overview: this is the type of decision the Redskins are going to have to make this season if they are serious about fixing their QB position. Haskins can do just that, and while it's easy to say that the 2020 class could be better, there is no guarantee the Redskins will be in a position to acquire one of those quarterbacks. The one benefit with this QB class and the way the draft order came about is most of the teams at the top aren't looking QB. There are scenarios of the Raiders maybe taking one, or the Cardinals, but that seems less likely, but if they pass, then barring a trade up, a QB won't be taken until the 6th pick. The Redskins here can jump ahead of their division rival and steal their top QB option. The downside of this move is it really makes this a one-player draft class. I do like DeAndre Walker and believe he can be a role player as rookie, but a starter down the road. Other than that though, the rest of this class profiles as either solid guys with some limited starting potential, or a high-upside smaller school guy. I think this class covers the Redskins' need at the edge position, with some decent upside attached, but the rest of their needs aren't met. That all would be worth it though if Haskins can reach his full potential and develop into a top 10 QB in the league. There are some questions with Haskins, but his upside is worth a move up like this.